Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, it's good to see you back. Today's message is from the Akashic records and source. It's a little interesting, actually. Today is actually a summons. It'll be a warning for some and confirmation for others. Okay, what do I mean by that? Okay. Uh, Many of us out there, unfortunately, if you get this message, first of all, will be received in divine timing by those who need to hear it. So if this is popping in front of you, it's something that you possibly might need to hear or pass on to an individual. As many of you may know, there was a lot of darkness happening in the world today. A lot of people are misinformed. A lot of people are jumping on this spiritual path thinking that they can take liberties, feeling that there's no consequences for the liberties they take. And what do I mean by that? A lot of times people on this path feel that they can impose spells on other people, whether they be negative, to harm people, to kill people. I've actually seen people do horrible things and I had to get away from them because of the I didn't want that negativity attached to my karma. That's their karma. And I did my best to try to neutralize whatever they were doing to a certain individual and gave it up to God. That was the best thing that I could do with it. Anyway, there's some people out there that are possibly following YouTube videos, TikTok videos, telling them how to perform magic spells, how to perform love spells, how to perform spells that cause people to gain weight or ugly spells on people. Now, you have to remember, there is spiritual law out there. And when you engage in these types of activities, even when you surround yourself by those who are engaging in these activities, or you yourself are being drawn in by people who are asking you to act on their behalf to amplify their power when they're trying to do bad against someone, that karma is going to go on you as well. And for you parents out there, you need to understand this. Uh, if you love your children, you really need to understand this. When you put negativity out there, that becomes a generational curse and gets passed down upon your children. So, if your thought process is wishing harm or intentionally, creating some type of a ritual to inflict harm on another person, you're really going to harm yourself eventually. Especially if you're new at this or you're not, well versed in spirituality. You also have to know who you're trying to inflict things on. There are many people out there that do have, God given supernatural powers and are here for a purpose. And if you accidentally inflict a curse on those people, it's bad news for you because those people are divinely protected. Anyone who does God's work is divinely protected and not to be messed with. So you're really taking your chances, and it's a guarantee. It might not happen right away, but if you engage in these types of activities, that this will reverberate back to you. So, again, this is a warning for some and confirmation for others. So, whoever I'm speaking to possibly knows people that are engaged in these types of behaviors or has been coerced, by a close friend into engaging in these types of behaviors. And you need to know this is source warning you that you're going down the wrong path and you really need to make amends for that and really need to brush up on your spiritual knowledge. This is serious. Now you could take my advice and, try your best to reverse it, by trying to perform good deeds and getting yourself straight with source, whoever that is for you, and the divine realms. Or you can continue down this path. Your choice. I'm not here to force anyone to do anything. I'm just here to pass along messages that I receive for those who need to hear them. So if you're hearing this message, please, I beg you, take it seriously because it's not a game and things can go really haywire in your life. For example, I have an ex, a very evil ex, okay? I've mentioned him once or twice in the past, who just refuses to let me go. Now, I wish all the best and I let go, gave it up to God. But in return, what am I getting? I'm getting spells placed upon me. And that's cool because I'm aware of them. That's fine. I always tell them, bring it on. But this very person is also engaging friends to work on his behalf. Big mistake for those friends. Big mistake. Because you're going to find yourself in trouble. Giving you a warning. I can forgive you because that's what I do. That's what God wants me to do. And I forgive you for myself because I don't want to carry that burden. But I'm also not going to be a schlep and sit back and continually take the burden of what you're trying to place upon me. So if these things are happening to you, if I'm speaking to an individual who's actually going through the same thing that I'm going through right now, just know that it's in God's hands. Do not retaliate. Okay? The worst thing you can do. Don't retaliate. Give it up to a higher power, whoever that is for you. Give it up to Source. Give it up to the guardian angels. Give it up to all the archangels and saints and deities and let them battle for you. Okay? You keep your hands clean. You just keep doing you, let them do them, and eventually, Source and the universe will correct things because everything has to come back to balance. So, for instance, if you are on the receiving end of black magic continuously and your life is going haywire, stay prayed up, cleanse yourself with sage, Palo Santo, burn it throughout your house. Okay? Pray. Pray to whoever it is you feel comfortable praying to. Ask for help, ask for assistance, ask for protection. Surround yourself in a white impenetrable light. Now, how do you do that? Imagine yourself, okay, sitting somewhere peacefully and calm as you breathe in and out slowly, and imagine a white, intense light enveloping you. And ask God, the universe, whoever of goodness, to maintain that light around you and to protect you and to prevent anything negative from coming in. Okay? And you have to do this because it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to work quickly. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes consistency. And you have to be sincere. And sincerity doesn't just mean a willingness, it also means in your behaviors, changing your entire direction, learning to move yourself away from negative people, from negative thoughts. And it's not easy. If you can sit yourself in a day and realize how many negative thoughts enter your head, you'd be surprised. And those negative thoughts, they're spells. Whatever you put out into the universe eventually comes back to you. So you want to maintain a positive attitude. You want to be able to stay strong, go forward, and keep your faith. Know that you are being protected with all your heart because you are. But again, it's up to whoever I'm speaking to. It's your choice. You can do this your way, or you can do it the spiritual way, one or the other. You know, either way is fine. There's no judgment, but there is consequence, unfortunately. The universe does have consequence. So you really want to make sure you're putting nothing but positivity and good out there. Even to those who harm you, love your enemies. It doesn't mean lay down for them. It just means forgiving them for yourself so you don't carry their baggage and their burden and not to become like them, you know, regardless of what has happened in your life. It doesn't mean you have the right to go out there and start being nasty or doing things to someone else because it happened to you. It's not cool. It's not the way it works. You know, just give it up to God. And eventually, with time, practice, and patience, things will turn around. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't because, the universe and the divine does not work that way. The divine wants to see that you're actually working towards something with sincerity and that you mean what you say by placing actions behind the wonderful thought of wanting to do well. Go out and do something for someone, volunteer, help a stranger. Every little thing helps to build up good karma. Every little thing. If you see someone standing in front of you online at the supermarket and they don't have enough money, you know, if you're able to go into your own pocket and reach in there and hand the lacking money to that person, that's good karma. And again, you never know if the divine is secretly placing that situation in front of you to see what you're going to do. You know, good deeds that are done in secret are most important. It's not what we do outwardly. How many people volunteer for something and then they spread it all over Facebook? They volunteered for this, they donated to that. It's not cool. That's not doing God's work. That's your own ego. Okay? Good deeds are done in silence. You do the good deed, and you move past it, and you continue to do good deeds because you want to, because they come from your heart, not because you feel obligated to do so. not because you feel that it's a sin if you don't. It doesn't work that way. Everything that we do has to come from our heart space when it comes to giving, whether that's love, comfort, money, whatever. So please, whoever this message is for, I hope it resonates. Again, this is basically a summons from the divine realms to wake some people up out there, and I hope it does. And I really do uh, want to continue on this journey with all of you out there. And if there's anything I can do, please, you know, don't feel free to contact me. Don't be afraid, and I'll do whatever I can. You know, I'll do whatever I can at the moment to help a person. So if you're going through some kind of a crisis and you need to talk, you can always, write to me and we can possibly help you get through it. You know, I might not get back right away because I have a lot of things going on, but the minute that I get anyone's message, I always do my best to try to respond. And right now, with the size of this channel, I'm able to do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to promise that in the future. Right now with this collective is very small, and that's fine. I'm not upset with that at all. That doesn't bother me because I was informed by the divine that this channel will take time to grow for the correct people to find it. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to sit on this and wait for the progress to happen, okay? Because the divine has this. I'm just a vessel. I really don't consider this my channel. This is the divine's channel because I am channeling divine messages, and that's what I'm here to do. And I hope that they reach the correct people. That's my hope, and I hope that this channel eventually will be a way of other light workers or star seeds or those who are seeking a soul tribe community to meet and engage with each other. I really want to encourage that. Okay, I want to thank all of you for being here, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.